Welcome back to the Aimmee Kodachian and the Expert Show, where we bring some of the top experts in the world to help you transform your business and personal life. I am your host, Aimmee Kodachian, not Kardashian.
And I am your co-host, Stephanie Thompson. I'm a classically trained singer-songwriter. In this episode, we've been talking about this movie, The Secrets of the Keys, with our wonderful expert, Robin J.
Yes, welcome back.
It's
an honor to be here.
So nice to have you.
Yes.
We said we were going to talk about something.
Yes.
Would you like to be our co-host?
I think I am.
Great. Awesome.
Yes, we have to talk about the webinar last night. Aimmee gave a webinar. I was the host of the webinar, and it was amazing. She talked about how to bring out the leader within you with love and compassion to lead yourself and others to true happiness and success.
Yes.
And I think you really delivered that, Aimmee.
Yeah,
that was
thank
amazing.
You always see me.
Subject.
Yeah, it is a very deep subject.
It's a very deep subject, but you tackled it, and we got some questions, and some people got some feedback, and
it was
really
exciting
successful
to see that people were reacting to the webinar, the engagement.
Because if you're not leading yourself first, how can you lead others?
Yes,
exactly.
You really have to have your act together.
You had to do
Go
that.
out there and tell everyone else how to live.
Because you could have gone in so many different directions in this teaching, and we had only 1 hour, and this is a whole day subject. But we had to put it in 1 hour, so I'm glad I was.
Where can everyone
effective.
see it?
Probably tomorrow. We're gonna announce it and share it on Facebook and AK and the experts. That's the only one we're gonna really share, I guess. They're so
everybody
happy
can
about
go
it.
and watch it now.
Yes,
tomorrow
tomorrow.
everyone can watch it.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't want to miss it. You definitely want to see that, and some of our other webinars too, but this one especially.
Oh,
so
and can I just say, when it comes to leadership, in my anthology series that I published years ago, The Power of the Platform, one of my experts, her chapter was called Step Up and Step into Leadership. And one thing that happens, sometimes we have reluctant leaders. They're shy, or they're just not comfortable in a leadership position, but they know a better way to do things. And sometimes it really does come naturally.
Yeah.
But it's important to lead yourself so that you can lead others.
But
and know
I
what they're
talked
going
about
through.
how we lead ourselves when we start walking. As soon as we start walking, we are leading ourselves and leading our family. We're telling them what we want.
Right.
We're leading.
See, and I call that sales.
Yeah.
If I talk you into going one place instead of another for dinner, I've just sold you.
Yeah.
So my background, 20 years in sales, it's hard to stop doing that. When I have a better way to do something, that I think it's a better way.
Yeah.
Or another way of doing something. I have a lot of people who say, "Oh, I'm no good at sales," and
that's not. Yeah.
Where do you live? Did you convince your husband to buy that house instead of another one? You
sold it.
Yeah. So people don't understand.
Well,
what that
I also
means.
share things from my own experience. Everybody shares, can teach, but when you had to learn how to lead. I had to learn how to deal my brother in the war, and I had my younger brother. I had to learn how to lead my daughter, and lead the writing the book and starting academy and starting a business. So I share things that I dealt with.
Right, and leadership is a skill like sales too. It's something you can learn and evolve and get better at. So I think that's wonderful, and that you do share your personal stories, and that's one of the things that what I love about the movie is getting the experts to share their personal stories instead of just sound bites.
Let's talk about the movie. So what I hear is that the movie inspired you to do something, Robin.
I never
that
thought
you thought
I would
you
do
never
it.
would do.
I never. Boy, we should have had that as a cliffhanger after the first segment. Come and see what I never thought I'd do.
Yeah.
Well, let me talk for a minute about one of these experts, Kate Emerson, if you can see her picture there. She's got the fierce hair, kind of two-tone, and she's just incredible. And Kate is a decluttering expert. And I had a few people say, decluttering, what's that got to do with a spiritual movie?
Yeah.
Well, her slogan is live light, live large. If we have clutter around us, it keeps us from achieving all we want to achieve and move forward.
I agree with that.
I ended up cleaning out my closets after talking to her because I think in a very linear fashion. Like we were talking about Prezi for instead of PowerPoints, you start with a circle and you move out here and everywhere. It's chaotic to me. I can't do Prezi. I like nice corporate structures, lots of lines and stuff. So what Kate said when I was working with her on developing her segment for the film, because I talked to each of the experts on the phone for a couple hours to see exactly what we should hone their segment to showcase. And there's 3 kinds of clutter, 4 reasons we hang on to it, and boy, I could wrap my head around that so well, I ended up cleaning out my closets.
Wow.
Which I did.
I
needed to do. I didn't think
think
I needed to do. But let me tell you what happens. Why? The 3 kinds of clutter are our body clutter, our physical clutter around our homes or our offices, our cars. Some people look like they have their homes in their cars. And then our emotional clutter, which we often call our baggage. We're carrying our last relationship into our new relationship and so on. The reason we hang on to these, one is fear. We are just hanging on to everything because we're just scared. These things make us feel better. Right. Another one is guilt. Say your child goes off to college. How many parents turn their kids' rooms into a shrine? They don't touch a thing. It looks just like when Bobby was in 12th grade, right?
Keep it that way.
That's guilt. You're afraid. What happens, and this is the real point, this is the real takeaway, okay? We put an emotional attachment
to things
onto physical things. And then we don't want to get rid of them.
Yes.
Kate told a great story. It didn't make it into the movie because, unlike a book, you have limited time for a movie, so I'll share it here. Her mother was hanging on to her grandmother's clock. And apparently it was quite the monstrosity. And she kept saying, Mom, get rid of the clock. She goes, I can't. It was Grandma's. So at one point, finally, her son, she felt like if she got rid of it, it'd be like throwing Grandma away. We need to understand it's not. The Grandma's not the clock. Grandma loved the clock, but I don't love the clock, so I'm going to get rid of it. So anyway, her brother, Kate's brother, finally said, I love the clock. I'll take it. So when we were filming, I asked her, I said, so your mother hung on to her mother's clock because of that emotional attachment? She goes, oh, it wasn't her mother's clock. It was her mother-in-law's. It was Kate's grandmother's clock on the father's side. And I'm like, she hung on to her mother-in-law's clock that she hated because of guilt, because you feel like you can't get rid of it. So if you're having trouble cleaning out your closets or your car or your life or your body or your environment or your emotional baggage, learn that you have to get rid of this stuff. It doesn't serve you anymore. If it doesn't serve you any longer, that's how you ask yourself. If you haven't worn that blouse in 2 years,
why is sitting there?
Donate it. Let someone else wear it. There are plenty of people who need it. I took, when I cleaned out my closet, I'm embarrassed to say, 8 bags, hefty bags. Some to Safe Nest and everything else that a working girl wouldn't need, a professional woman. I took to Goodwill and dropped it off.
But somebody else is using it.
To this day, when I open my closet, I'm like, well, where'd all the garbage go? It's so light. It's it's in my exercise room, this big closet. When I'm working out, I feel lighter. I don't feel like the doors of the closet are going to come bursting off. So spirituality ties into that. The other 2 reasons, I should mention them, why you hang on to stuff, are, and I'll tell you what got me. One is insecurity. When you go to someone's home or office and they have everything they've ever won, every picture they've ever had taken, that's insecurity. They're trying to say, I lived, I mattered. And the last one is scarcity mindset. What if I need that later?
But now when we come back, we're going to tell them about that.
We can talk more about it.
Okay. So you have something to stay tuned and see what happened. If you're not watching live, you can go to akandtheexperts.com and watch the whole show with Robin. We'll be right back.